What is the most beautiful interstate highway in America? There are many contenders who have come up to the plate. Many have tried, but the one that usually comes to mind for most is Interstate 70, right here in Colorado. And on this video, we are going to see why. We are going to go the distance from the Kansas state line all the way out to Utah, along with some stops here and there, of course. And when it's all over, you guys can let me know whether you agree that Interstate 70 here in Colorado is the most beautiful and scenic, or if there's another interstate highway that you have in mind. Also, let me know about this format. Would you prefer this to be broken up into several smaller videos, or do you like this one big, beautiful video? See what I did there? So sit back, relax, and let's take this long journey as I present to you Interstate 70, Colorado. All right, guys, you see it behind me? We're out here, Colorado-Kansas state line, and we're about to start Interstate 70. There it is. Welcome to colorful Colorado. All right, so let's get into it. All right, we just got into the state. Our first stop is going to be Limon, or Limon, excuse me. We're stopping at Limon. So as you can see out here in these parts, Colorado looks very, very similar to Kansas. And the only color you're really going to see out here is probably brown and gray. All right, guys, since we are in the boring part of I-70, now is a good time to run down some basic information about the route here in Colorado. So I-70 runs for a total of 449 miles east-west across the state. It was one of the last parts of the interstate highway system to be completed, as the section through Glenwood Canyon wasn't completed until 1992, which we'll see later in the video. Originally, I-70 was to end at I-25 in Denver, but then Governor Edwin Johnson successfully lobbied for a western extension across the rest of the state. You're going to have a 4-lane highway through Wyoming. You're going to build 2 4-lane highways through New Mexico and Arizona. Colorado needs to be able to compete with our neighboring states. We do not want to take anything away from them. We do not want them to get out way ahead of us either, because these interstate highways are going to be very attractive highways for the east and west to travel on. Well, sounds like the governor was right in his assessment. And thankfully that all worked out, because we ended up with the most beautiful stretch of them all here on Interstate 70. The route was actually criticized by some as being a road to nowhere due to running out to Cove Fort, Utah. However, it is also credited with uniting Colorado and greatly enhancing the ski industry in the state. Vail, for example, didn't even exist as a town until Interstate 70 was built. Out here, where we are now, the highway follows the old US 24 corridor. At the Limon, it runs the path of old US 40, and then it follows US 6 through most of the Rockies. So when possible, guys, I always like to get a little souvenir from some of these places when I stopped. So I did stop at this Colorado Gifts place, along with getting some Wendy's, and got this little Colorado Sea to go on the refrigerator. So Got this little magnet right here. Pretty cool, pretty cool. This probably won't be the last place we stop on this trip. So let's go get into Limon and let's see what the little town looks like. All right, guys, let's roll down here and check out Limon. They call it Limon rather than Limon. So it's one of those bastardized English translations of a Spanish word. And Limon is seemingly the most popular city in Denver because it's on all the control city signs in Denver. You can see Limon, Limon, Limon everywhere. So right now I'm going to show you guys what Limon actually looks like. And shout out to Control City Freak, who also helped make Limon a lot more popular. I hear it's his favorite city. This is the downtown of Limon. So you got plenty of motels. So you see the industry here is catering to Limon's location as a crossroads for major highways. The Limon Motel over there. More motels. Safari Inn. Loaf and Jug gas station. I'm gonna turn up here. I want to check out the Limon Railroad Museum. If it's open. Google says it's not open. Let's go check and make sure for ourselves. The downtown looks very quiet today. Saturday afternoon. Guess nobody's hanging out in Limon. And yeah, I guess Google might be right. So the website said it was open, but apparently it does not look open. Oh wait, that's Town Hall. Okay, so we gotta go around. It might be open. Might be. Okay, it is open. It is open. Let's park up here in the shade. Wow. Kansas Pacific Railway. Check it out. Rock Island westbound grain train. Got a little replica in there. You can go inside the car. So this is the dining car. Yeah, they really got it redone. Old school typewriter. Oh, a 1935 flood. Hey, well, Limon was a hub, so maybe that's why it's on all the signs out here in Colorado. (1969) Union Pacific Railroad. Oh, here we go. So they used to come in and everyone sits right here. You got a menu, you got your $1 coffee, or you can get a $1 coffee these days. Oh, they got a stove, they got the sink. So yeah, they cook your food right here. This is definitely old school. Look at that good old American apple pie. So I used to put the pies up here. Got a refrigerator. Not sure what that thing is. It's like a heater or some sort. And it looks like this is the caboose. No, it's the middle car. The caboose is back there. So let's go take a look at that. Oh, okay. Got another stove right here. This really gives you a good feel of how they lived back then. Oh, look at this car. The clothesline. Yeah, they really did make this thing just like it used to be. Okay. Oh, fuse box. Does this open? And this is our caboose. The Milwaukee Road Railway Express Agency. Ah, okay. Go up here. Okay, guys, this is Limon. Limon's got it going on. All right, so we're gonna wrap up and get ready to head to Denver. See, they still got the railroad track out here. I gotta see that truck right there too. See this truck. It's like an old Texaco truck. Yeah. Okay. Limon Depot. Excuse me. Limon Depot. I don't know if you, I don't know if you want to be on the camera or you just want to talk.
I don't care.
Oh, okay, perfect. All right, guys. So we're doing a tour here.
I am not a particularly shy person anymore. Used to be, but not anymore. This is all the different kinds of, well, maybe not all, but lots of different kinds of barbed wire since it was invented, and I'm not real sure how long they've been using barbed wire, but it's pretty interesting. Those great big barbs.
Yeah, that one right there is never seen one like that.
Yeah, I've never seen a twisted one. I've seen a lot of these old cedar posts, and some people, when they replace them with metal ones, just pull them out of the ground and dump them in the ditch.
Yeah.
So I have rescued, probably 4 of them there in my front yard. I like old things. This is some arrowheads and coin collections. These things have been found, the arrowheads have been found in this area.
So these from all the wars, Revolution,
I
War of
truly
1812.
do not know. I've not spent a lot of time in this room.
Okay. What are these wooden cars? Or just
wooden
replicas?
toys.
Okay.
Some people are a lot more productive in their retirement than I am. They carve things. This is an interesting group of people. It's one family, and they were trick riders. And the women were just amazing, the tricks they could ride. And this black one over here is also a black wedding dress. I wore it actually for our play my senior year of high school. Somebody said, "You used to be that thin?" And I thought, yeah, I did. But that was 50 years ago. But the clothing, I think, is neat. And then this flapper dress with all its beading.
Yeah, you don't see that too often.
I know, it's a lot of beading. And obviously it had to be done by hand. I think this is just supposed to be set up to be a parlor. And here we have the kitchen.
Now look at that stove.
Yeah, now that's quite a stove, isn't it?
Oh, and this is the, what do you call this? This is before the telephone, or is that?
No, it was
That
one
was
of
a
the
telephone?
earliest telephones. You had this, and you had to talk in, and they connect you, talk to the operator, where you wind it up. I have a friend whose husband collects these things, these old telephones.
See, that was a little before my time. I do remember the rotary phone.
First time I brought my kids to see great grandma, they went, "How do I call out on this thing?" They were so used to buttons. Ice chest and an old Hoosier cabinet. I have one of these sitting in my kitchen that was my grandmother's, and they're very handy.
Oh yeah, I think my grandma had something like this at one point. I'm not sure what happened to it.
It's my house was built in 1907, and the real estate person said it's old. I said, yeah. So my mother and I like antiques.
Well, that tells you the quality. If it lasted that long, that's over 100 years.
Yeah, Well, and it lasted through a tornado.
Yeah.
And you can see a neighbor of mine found pictures of our neighborhood, and the whole thing is flattened except my house and her house and one down at the end of the block.
Wow.
Car dealership flattened. It just, the funeral home was gone, and our houses are still standing.
Wow, you gotta hold on to that one then.
Well, yeah,
You
as
gotta
I
chill.
say. My brother said, "Oh, why would you want an old house? Aren't you afraid in here?" I said, "It stood through a tornado, many blizzards. No, I'm not the least bit afraid."
So these wash tubs, that was for taking a bath? Or was that
I've been washing clothes.
washing clothes? Okay.
Yeah. And this is a gas-operated iron.
Huh. Look at that. Now, I've never seen that before. That's the first time I've ever seen one of those.
My mom remembers the first time she saved up enough money so she could buy her mother a gas-operated iron. Till then, they'd had one of these that you heat up on the stove and then put it down on your clothes. Feel that sucker.
Oh, it's got some weight to it.
I think they had one tub for washing, one tub for rinsing, and then they were very pleased when these things came through because a wringer, and you could wring out the clothes so that you didn't have to hand twist them out.
We have come a long way.
Yeah, now you go beep.
Yep.
And thank goodness for it, because I don't think I'd be very clean if I had to scrub it all on the wash.
I think I remember seeing these in those, you remember those Looney Tunes cartoons back in the day? Yeah.
Okay, it's been used just about up. Yeah, here we go.
Oh.
And an ironing board. This, I do not know what that, I suppose that's
It's a plunger?
well, it's
it's metal.
so you would probably use that to add, you were the agitator.
Oh.
Oh, it's so much easier to push one button and nobody has to go to the creek for the water or build the fire to heat it. That's my mother stayed with me till she died at 101. And she said, "Honey, I feel so bad about all the laundry." I said, "It's not like I have to go to the creek and pull the water and build the fire." And this is an old loom.
Okay. Is that the alarm? The bill?
You know what? I'm not sure what it's doing. I imagine it's one of the old clocks we've got. And this was...
So there's like a shop?
Yes, going in. It's a general store. Russell Gates Mercantile. And it had a little bit of everything.
Oh, yeah.
So you could buy clocks, you could buy a bolt of fabric, or wallpapers.
And these are all your, is that like drugs and medicines and?
I would guess.
I think.
Yep.
It looks like some, is that Abraxo? Okay. Cayenne pepper, mustard. This is how it used to be back in the day.
Yeah. And when you're finished in here, I can't go with you because I do need to stay, but across the way there is a house that had belonged to one of the managers of the mercantile store. And it has been, well, they had to take out all the asbestos, and it just up here is do you see that thing with the handle sticking out?
Yeah.
That's a food mill. And you put your things in that you want ground, and you just grind it. You can make your own applesauce. You can make, and actually I still even have one of those. That was my great grandmother's, and I use it to make when I can in the summer, because it does so much better than a food processor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And as I say, I like old things.
Well, you're in the right place.
Yeah, that's it. I don't know what the story is here on the pretty little Surrey with the fringe on the top. But,
So what's the story with this back here?
this was an addition built to so that's why it seems like you change so fast from one exhibit to another. But this has a sheep herder's wagon, which is the original tiny house. You can
There was a house
go in it. Yes, a sheep herder would live there full time, except when he'd come to town for whatever, a couple days, do his own cooking in here. They'd park this out so that he could herd his sheep.
Okay.
And
Kind of a violin. Got a little bed. Okay. Wow.
I can hardly do an elevator, and I know it's going someplace. I just, oh dear.
So it must mean your house is pretty big.
Not really, but it's got lots of windows. There is a buffalo ranch about 10 miles southwest of town. If you have time, you should go on that sometime, because it is utterly fascinating.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They put you in big trucks with real solid sides, obviously, and they'll take you right down into the herd of buffalo. So you can. We've got brochures on it. I'll send you.
Okay.
Those.
Yeah.
Fascinating. And they're magnificent animals. They're so big.
Yeah, I never seen one in person.
Really?
Never. No.
Oh, well, you ought to. Do you live in Denver now?
Yeah, I live in Denver now. Yeah, so I got plenty of time to explore Colorado.
Okay. Yeah, it's pretty neat. This is a chuck wagon, and this is what they take on big cattle drives, and Cookie would cook in this. Well, not right in, but this is where his supplies were, and so I said, "Oh, it's so neat that people have donated everything in here," and I'm thinking, I'm just now cleaning out my mother's stuff. I would imagine there's a lot of people going, "Oh, thank God, we got some place we can take Grandpa's saddle. Don't have to get rid of it."
Oh, the bean elevator.
Uh-huh. They would clean and sort the pinto beans and package them ready to go out. It's an interesting motorcycle, isn't it?
Oh, definitely. That looks. It almost looks like a bike until you see the motor right here. You think it's a regular bike.
Kind of a long one, but that's.
I wonder what that sounded like when it was running.
Doubt that it had much of a muffler. It was probably
Oh yeah.
pretty loud. And this room is, this little alcove is set up supposedly like a Pullman car. I don't remember. Here we go. Here it is. Well, it didn't tell us much. Here we go. Born in. Anyway, this is supposedly set up like an executive's office Pullman car
Oh, gotcha.
would have been.
Well, thinking back to that time though, I can see this being the
I could work in here.
executive suite. Yeah.
No, I could work in here.
So does the Amtrak still come through here, or does it?
No.
It skips by Limon. Oh,
It goes Chicago to Denver, and then it goes south.
so it goes south. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. They bypassed you guys.
Yep, they did. I was really hoping we were going to get some more rail passenger service set up, but it didn't happen, and I can't see that it's ever going to happen now.
Oh no, it's very hard and expensive to build rail now.
And I didn't realize how much stronger it had to be for passenger.
Oh yeah.
I lived in Nashville when they first put in their commuter rail, and just the few miles of that was enormously expensive. So
My battery is dying. All right, guys, just got done exploring Limon's History Museum. So you saw Mary. You just saw the short documentary with her giving us a tour. So yeah, now we know all about the history and importance of Limon, Colorado. So we're about to head out of Limon, and we are about to head to Denver. And I kind of get to cheat for Denver because I don't have to buy a hotel in Denver since I live in Denver. But we're gonna stop in one place along the interstate in Denver, and then we're gonna call it a night. So let's go ahead and head back. Let's head to the city. All right, so we're headed back downtown, back on Main Street. We're gonna be headed out to the interstate to get back to Denver. So I'll let you have a look at what's left of downtown Limon. Denver, 85 miles, and Colorado Springs. Bit more residential area as we head out. Now you see 24 drops off here. You go to the left, 24 is going to take you to Colorado Springs. So Limon's kind of that, all the roads from Colorado Springs and Denver to the east, come back over here to Limon. So here's a little strip right here next to the interstate. If you want to get off and get to some of these amenities, you got a Colorado Gifts right there. We got a Mickey D's. We got the TA truck stop. And we got Oscar's Bar and Grill. I might have to check that out next time. We got a hotel up here, Motel 6. Lots of truck stops. What's this guy doing? Okay, he's going eastbound. He's going east. We got a La Quinta and the Flying J's across here. So Limon has everything for the long distance traveler. Oh, and there's an IHOP. IHOP. All right, now we get back out here, picking up speed. Back on Interstate 70, on the way to Denver. How far do we got? County. We got our 70 West rear sign. Speed limit 75. What's that sign say up there? Denver, 83 miles. All right, so let's get to Denver. How wide that median is. All right, guys, we are headed into the Denver area, and you can see those mountains up ahead. It looks like clouds, but no, those are the mountains. Yes, they are that high. Now, full disclosure, this part of the video was actually filmed in October, a little separately from the rest of the video that was filmed in July. I think I lost the footage somewhere. Can't seem to find it, so I had to come out here and refilm this part. But you guys get a treat because it looks like there's a little bit of snow up there on the mountains. All right, so as we start to descend into the Denver area, officially named the Denver Aurora Centennial Colorado metro area, just recently is estimated to have cracked that 3 million mark. So we are growing out here in the Denver, Colorado area. And right now we're coming up on E-470. Now this is Denver's partial beltway, which I talked about on a video a while back. And this side over here is tolled because the genius officials out here in Colorado decided not to build a beltway when the federal government was paying for 90% of it. So it ended up being a toll road. It got built anyway, partially built anyway. So as we approach here, we can take 470 south to get down towards Colorado Springs and the southern suburbs of Denver. Or you can take it north right here to get to the airport, as you see. On the side here, you can see we got a lot of airport-related businesses, industries nearby. We got some road construction going on here. I think they're widening the Interstate 70 out here. Look at that, there's Colfax, Denver's most famous street and the longest street in America. I have to do a video on that pretty soon. So Colfax is coming up. on this side of Colfax, it's going to take you into the heart of Aurora, the heart of Denver, and it is signed for Interstate 70 business and US 40. So US 40 is going to leave us right here. US 287 also. So right now we're concurrent with 287 and 40. Those are both about to drop off and go down Colfax as we take a little northern path for Denver. So they're redesigning this interchange with Colfax. It used to actually be a left exit. Looks like the signage up here is saying it's now been changed to a right exit. So let's see. Yeah, Colfax new ramp. Okay, Colfax exits to the right now. Now, if you do decide to go down Colfax, you're going to get a nice taste of all of the culture and colorful folks of colorful Colorado as you drive through Aurora and Denver along Colfax. So yeah, look at that. That is a fresh, brand new interchange. You can see that there's no graffiti on here because it's just been built. Brand new out here. So Colorado is spending some money on the roads, it seems. You still got work to do. You can see over there to the right. Still got it going on. So I actually think we're in the Aurora city limits. I think the sign, it took down the sign in the construction area, but I think we are actually officially in Aurora. Now, Aurora is a gigantic suburb of Denver. It doesn't really have its own central business district, so it's just a giant suburb. And Aurora is annexing and gobbling up all of this development that's happening around the Denver airport because Denver is landlocked and cannot expand its borders. But Aurora can annex and expand far out here to the east. So as the Denver area and the areas close to the mountain have gotten more expensive, people are moving out here to the east. Because this land out here in the prairies, like this land out here is a lot cheaper. So don't be surprised if this section of Interstate 70 in 5 years is completely surrounded by single family homes and shopping centers and all of that good old suburbia that Americans can't get enough of. So yeah, this is the high growth area right here. And Aurora's gonna take it all. Got the workers out here putting in that work, keeping the highways in good shape. So coming from the east, you get to the airport using Airport Boulevard right here. You see the RTD train up here going over. I think that might be the A-line train. Now this is an interesting area we're about to come up here. So this is one of the, might not be that bad right now. It's a weekday afternoon, but this is one of the clusters here in the Denver area because we're coming up on Interstate 225, which is like a partial bypass that runs through Aurora to get you down to I-25 South. And then right after that, actually we got Pena Boulevard, which is the airport road, which is another road that Colorado is likely going to have to expand here pretty soon because it's already overburdened. Because they let developers build around the airport. So now you're going to have to expand the airport road. And then you got another exit right here. So you got Pena, you got Chambers, then you got 225 back to back to back. And as you can see, that causes all this congestion because we simply have too many interchanges bunched up here together. Personally, I think Colorado should probably just eliminate this Chambers Road interchange and make people go around. So like I said, this is filmed a different day from the rest of the video. So today, this is a Thursday afternoon. Actually, a Thursday morning, excuse me. All right, so you see the people coming off Pena Boulevard over here to our right. So what happens is this traffic from Pena that's came over here with it, you see this big truck. And now you got this exit for 225 south right here back to back with it. So if you're coming off 70, you want to get on 225, you got to come in here with the traffic from Pena. And some of these guys from Pena want to get on the 70. So you got a weaving situation up here. It's not bad right now, but oh man, once it gets close to peak hour, let's just say I'm glad I don't have to commute out here. All right, we got the express lane coming up. So out here in Colorado, they are big believers in express lanes. Just like a lot of cities around the country, a lot of metro areas are now building express lanes rather than adding general purpose lanes to busy urban interstates. Now, one thing of note in Colorado is that trucks are allowed in the express lanes, which is not the norm in many other states. Okay, we got a nice view coming up here. Descending a little bit. You can see the wide expanse of the mountains right here. And over there to the left, you can see snow on some of them in the distance. Now this area of I-70 has a lot of industrial areas. Not really one of the high-end residential parts of the metro area. And we are in Denver proper now. In case I forgot to mention that. So one interstate we're coming up here is Interstate 70's only auxiliary route here in Colorado, since 470 never got the federal funds to become Interstate 470. So 270 is the only auxiliary route for I-70 in Colorado. Now 270 is probably one of the worst bottlenecks in the Denver area, in the state of Colorado in general. It's one of those roads where Denver is doing their best Austin, Texas impersonation, where they say, we're not going to add any more capacity to the road. If we don't build it, they won't come. But I think the folks here in the Denver area can attest to that not really working out quite well for Interstate 270. It's one of the worst roads to drive on, and I would avoid it at all times if possible. Like, I mean, 270 is backed up even on Sundays. So that tells you all you need to know. But it gets you to Boulder, and it takes you a little shortcut to I-25 north, rather than you going all the way down 70 to get to I-25. So you get it all on I-70. You get the plains, the prairie, and Denver is like the dividing line between the prairie and the mountains. It's like right there. Got your urban area. Pretty soon we're going to be coming up on the skyline. Again, these areas that out here, east of Denver, or the eastern parts of Denver, things like that, that's where a lot of the growth is occurring. you want to live close to the mountains, well, you're going to have to pay for that because the days of that being affordable to the average American are long gone. So we're going to go all the way down to I-25. We're going to go down Spear. Check out Laramie Square. I mean, for a weekday afternoon, this is pretty busy. All right, so coming up here is Colorado Boulevard and Vasquez Boulevard. Now, Colorado Boulevard is one of the major arterials in Denver. Vasquez carries US 6 and US 85 out of Denver to the northeast. And we're about to be concurrent. Those two highways are about to join us on the approach to Interstate 25. You can see some red lights up here. So a lot of industry out here off of Vasquez. Also, I do like how in Denver they have the street name up under the bridge. Pretty nice little touch right there. See, what do we got going on here, man? It is 11:30 in the morning. This is the condition of I-70. So you can only imagine what this is like at 5. Now, I'm interested to see how this interchange with I-25 is. Normally it's backed up and you're gonna be sitting there kind of slow moving your way through the off ramp. And it looks like that's probably gonna be our case here today. Because a lot of times the bottlenecks aren't necessarily due to overall capacity, it's just due to the lack of capacity or sometimes poor design of actual interchanges being overwhelmed. And I think in the case of I-25 and I-70, this interchange is just often overloaded, so it just can't handle the capacity that flows into it. We're about to take this exit right here for Collins, Colorado Springs. Past by the Denver Coliseum over there on the left. Just got There's a large interchange. This is probably one of the largest, if not the largest, interchange in the state, actually. So we had a third lane. So we got 2 lanes that go southbound because this is the major movement. I-70 west to I-25 south. It takes you to the downtown exits. Park Avenue. Okay, it's actually not bad right now. All right, we got lucky. So the skyline's becoming visible. So yeah, look at that. There we go. Skyline, okay. I tell you, I'm just more surprised this exit wasn't backed up. So they got a ton of lanes here for Interstate 25, but just a very dense area. A lot of back-to-back-to-back interchanges, so still I-20, this little curve of I-25 right here is often backed up or congested random parts of the day, so I try to avoid it when possible. Sometimes you don't have a choice. So we're gonna get off on Spear. I'll take you guys to Laramie Square real quick. As you can see, to our left, got the whole city over here. This pedestrian bridge you see right here with the arc, that connects the Highland neighborhood with downtown. Out with one of the more upscale core neighborhoods of Denver. We're getting off here on Spear. Let's see what it looked like in the city. Let's get on the ground. See Mile High Stadium right there. Ooh, look at that. So I definitely think the best approach to Denver's downtown is from the west. I mean, look at the view right here. Yeah, definitely from the west. Kind of wish I knew that when I got here. I don't know. I love a nice view. I live south of downtown, so I don't get this view from my place. The Spear kind of falls along Cherry Creek here in Denver, which is a tributary of the South Platte River. That's over there. We're traveling right next to downtown right now. Did not pay anyone. So we probably got some scammers out here who try to get people to give them money for parking. Okay. Right, guys, we are coming up on Laramie Square. So you can see this is Laramie Street, closed to cars. You see all the Colorado flags up here. So it's all about pedestrians in this area. Kind of quiet out here today. So you got the shops out here. So this is like your main little tourist area. So you can park pretty close by. You don't even have to be that far away. This is like a block away from where that park was that I parked at. So yeah, weekday afternoon, pretty tame. But you gotta love the Colorado spirit. So you got a lot of bars, a lot of restaurants. And this is one of the spots everybody comes to visit when they come into town, so I just had to show you guys myself. So you got some people, and here's our Capitol Grill. You know, that's that high-end food right there. Ocean Prime, another high-end restaurant. And yeah, it's basically just one block. So once you get past that little area, it becomes a surface street again with cars on it. If you continue down this way, you'll get to the 16th Street area, which I just dropped a video about that recently on my other channel. But yeah, guys, this is your
my friend, you like
Laramie Square.
You like it?
This is it. All right. All right, guys, see this parking lot right here? Costs more, $8 per hour, and it's not even that much closer. So you got this parking lot right here. That's like a few hundred, maybe 100 feet, not even. Not worth it, guys. Just park over here where I parked. And this parking lot was only $5 an hour. And it might cost you like a minute more of walking. So $3 a minute. I'm not opposed to that. Alright guys, since I'm on my way back to my apartment, I might as well show you Broadway, which is the main north-south street here in Denver. So it moves diagonally through downtown. Just like New York, so many cities, like I mentioned on the New York video, have a main road named Broadway. And there's always some colorful characters out here on Denver's Broadway. So we get a pretty nice view coming down here. Even though Denver is the largest metro area for hundreds of miles, it actually doesn't have that many tall buildings in the skyline. I think OKC actually has a taller skyscraper than any of the ones here in Denver. What's that say? Colorado, how the F we feeling, baby? John Summit. Folsom Field. So you can see there's a lot of residential if you want to live right in the heart of the city. Be right here in the action. Now leasing right there. So it's around lunchtime right now. Let's keep it rolling. And we're getting caught at every single traffic light right now. Terrible timing of day. So Welton, this is the street where they built this little stub rail that goes like to nowhere. It was supposed to go back and connect to the A line towards the airport, but I guess that never got quite done. So in Denver, the streets get lower as you go south towards First Avenue. All right, pretty soon we're coming up on Colfax, which is the main intersection of the city. And you're going to see the state capitol. You're going to see some interesting characters. The transit depot is right here where the buses converge. See if we get a little closer. Let's get in the far left lane. Let's see what's going on. So there's the buses right there. Cheyenne Place. Here's Colfax coming up. This guy. So, yep. There you go, guys. State Capitol grounds. We continue down Broadway. See a few more folks walking out here. There's the Denver Library on the right. They cleaned it up a lot since the first time I came out here. It used to look like a glorified homeless shelter, so they did improve it. Not quite as bad now. A lot cleaner. History Colorado Museum. So yeah, there's a lot of attractions on Broadway, so this is another street you want to check out if you have more time in Denver on your I-70 journey. As you can see, some of the construction they are building. Not all the growth is taking place in the suburbs. They're building some new high rises up here, some luxury apartments most likely. Now, if you come walking down this part of Broadway, don't be surprised if you get asked for money. All right, so we're at 9th. We're going to go ahead and end it here for the Denver section today. We're going to check out the Transportation Museum, and we're going to get back on I-70 and head for the part you've been waiting for, which is the mountains, so stay tuned. So we're pulling up at the Forney Transportation Museum. Alright guys, so this is the Forney Museum. As soon as you come in, they got this map that shows where everyone is from. Look at Europe and Africa. A few people from Asia. And of course, most is from the US. Guess the year and make of this car. So this was the third elevated railroad in New York City. So it's Sunday morning, not too many people out here today. Look at some of the classic cars here. 1928 Oakland. Now this is what I'm talking about. This. Now look at this guy. Look at that Buick. Now that's what I'm talking about. Now I would drive this today. I would drive this right now. And here's a 1971 Buick. There are still some, you still see these driving around back in the 90s. I've seen this before on the road. You got a fancy toolbox in the back. Zoom in on that. That's a fancy one. Look at those wheels and spokes. That's a 30 Buick. See that tiny locomotive right there? Oh, this is an old school fire truck. Fire trucks are godlike vehicles that should be over-maintained as a labor of love, personally and professionally, so they can protect good and fight evil. So this is an old school fire truck. (1920) 1923 fire truck. Whoa. And now you got a 1923 school bus. So take a look at that. Now this is interesting. So these are actually early attempts at making electric cars. So look at these guys, look at it. So these are all electric. 76 Sebring, a battery power city car. Would you guys drive that? And a 2002 Toyota RAV4 EV. 2002. 2002. RAV4. I don't know what that is. Looks like something that was trying to be like the Jetsons. Oh, old school map of Denver. Look at this. My Denver folks. This was the cable lines back in 1888. And you can see right there in bold, you can see Colfax. And you can see the line here, running down 15th to Colfax and south down Broadway. 59 Edsel Villager in the green right here. You got the old Colfax and Broadway sign. Colfax and Broadway are the main east, west, and north, south streets in Denver. That's where the Capitol building and City Hall kind of meet. So this looks like it's the old streetcar. So people used to get around in town on these before everybody had a car. You sightsee around Denver in this guy. And it was only 5 cents to ride. Imagine if it was only 5 cents to ride a bus today. So there it is, the streetcar number 77 for Denver. You got some more station wagons over here. Now this one looks more like your stereotypical station wagon. What was it, those family vacation movies back in the 90s, 80s? Was it Chevy Chase? I think they used to ride these kind of station wagons. You put the whole family back there. You put your luggage in this trunk area right here. Yeah, SUVs took these guys out. '70 Oldsmobile. I remember still seeing these. Some of these were riding around still back in the 90s. So I am old enough to remember these. Here we got we got an airplane. 1957 Forney Air Coupe. Huh. Luxury plane riding, guys. Look at that. Oh, we got some old hubcaps and Colorado license plates over here. From 1923 all the way 1913 until the present day. License plate for Colorado. Check that out. So it looks like they started putting the mountains on there back in 1960. And it hasn't changed too much from 1960 until now. That 94 one looks pretty good. I like that one. And I see they used to put your county on there. I see Boulder on that one up there at the top. And you got some old hubcaps. Old bikes. Look at the wheels. This is a 1870, tricycle. So we're starting here at the oldest on this side, and we're going to make our way to newer bikes. Now look at this one. Look at this giant front wheel and the tiny back wheel. Wonder what the thought process was behind that design. Oh, okay, I got you. So with this one, you see the small wheel is for steering, and the back wheel looks like that's your balancer. Keeps you stable. And you got the unicycles right here. Oh, look at this old tricycle. I had something like this when I was a kid. Little kid cars. Now check this out. Old 1950s exercise bike. And look at this. That's a 4-seater. Get the whole family on there. Oh, and a pogo stick back there on the wall. And now we're starting to get to the modern bikes. We're in the 50s now. 1966 Raleigh. More motorcycles now. Personally, I'm not about a motorcycle. I'm not a motorcycle guy, unless it's like in a video game or something. It's just too dangerous to ride them, but I think they're definitely cool. Definitely cool. You got these little tractors up here. And I guess that is it. I think that's it. So of course I ended up buying a souvenir, guys. Check it out. Got me a 1957 Corvette. So I didn't expect to buy this, so I'm gonna head back to my place and drop this off, and then we're gonna get back on 70 and head up into the mountains. All right, we are coming out of downtown. We are getting ready to get back on I-70. This is at the I-25 interchange with signage for Grand Junction. You can see all the ramps up there. Look at that. All that rotunda going on. So we're getting on 70 West. Go round and round up here. Make this left turn inside the interchange. We're officially back on Interstate 70. As you can see, the mountain is getting closer and closer in the distance. And it is hot here today in Denver, so it's going to be a welcome relief when we get up here into these higher elevations and it's a little bit cooler. Now, only a few of the mountains still have snow on them at this time of year, as you can see. Just a little bit of snow at the very top of some. Here we pass Sheridan Boulevard, which is another major north-south arterial in the Denver area. This 55-mile-per-hour curve here is actually a lake that we're bypassing, which is up underneath us. see it over there. A little bit of it. There you go. So when we curve back, now before we get to the mountains, I am going to make one more stop. Have not eaten anything today, so I'm just gonna get something real quick to hold me until we eat dinner later in one of these mountain towns. So I think I'm probably gonna do In-N-Out. So we're gonna stop at an In-N-Out up here pretty soon. So get on Wadsworth. And over here in this area, also coming up on Interstate 76, which is the western segment of Interstate 76 that used to be Interstate 80 South. And it runs back through northern Denver and up into Nebraska to connect with Interstate 80. I think now we're getting into Arvada. We're going to take this exit right here from Wadsworth. See, we're passing under Interstate 76, which is right there. These ramps and slopes. Okay, this is Arvada Marketplace. Got you some suburban shopping out here. See right there. There's our In-N-Out. We're gonna go check that out. And of course it's busy, you know, In-N-Out is usually going to be quite busy. On the weekend especially.
How are you?
Good, how you doing?
You good? What can I get for you today?
Get 2 cheeseburgers and a fry.
Would you like onion on them?
Yes.
On both?
Yes.
Did you want a drink today, boss? Cups of water?
Water.
Free?
Yeah, take water.
Choose or one? You want 2 water cups or one?
I'll just take one.
Just one?
Yes.
Anything else for you, boss?
That'd be all.
2 cheeseburgers and funny and 1 fry and 1 cup of water. You're gonna enjoy this in the car. Let's go.
Let's go.
To go?
Yes.
You're looking at 11 of 1 at that first window, please. And if you could just stay in your lane for me at the very end, once you get to the merge at the end of the lane, you're gonna be behind that black Civic.
Okay.
Bye, take every day.
All right, thank you. Look at that. Looks like they did a good job. In-N-Out usually does a pretty good job, well, making their burgers look kind of like the pictures you see on TV. All right, now that we are fat and full, we are about to get back on the road. Interstate 70. So we're headed for Grand Junction. Town of Wheat Ridge. Good old Colorado potholes before you get onto the freeway. We are off. GPS is saying we're going to encounter some traffic up there in that Floyd Hill area where they're working on the road, so we'll see. .63 miles to the Eisenhower Tunnel. Westbound in this area is probably pretty busy, so today's a Sunday, so you're probably pretty busy with people coming back from the mountains getting ready to go to work tomorrow. Excuse me, the eastbound side is busier. Take Colorado 58 here to go check out the town of Golden. Golden has a really nice downtown area, so that's something to keep in mind. Got Colfax coming up again. We're about to repeat Colfax in 3 miles. And Colorado Mills Parkway, for you guys that like to shop, Denver has a Mills Mall, but if you know those Mills Mall, they're the malls with the oval-shaped outlet stores. Find those all over the country. Back in North Carolina, we had Concord Mills. They got Potomac Mills up in DC. So this is Colorado Mills. And I got a video of that mall on my other channel if you want to see what Colorado Mills looks like inside. Surprisingly, we have not seen any erratic or crazy Colorado drivers yet. So, hey, maybe I got lucky today. You see the hills coming up. So we're about to get into it here pretty soon. There's that Colfax exit, US 40, and you can get to US 6 from that exit. And you're going to see US 6 hanging around for the rest of the trip through Colorado. Sometimes it's going to be concurrent with Interstate 70 up here in the mountains. then 470. So this is the untold portion of 470. And it doesn't form a complete loop around Denver. It's only going to go back south towards Colorado Springs, which is why you see it only signed for Colorado Springs and not Fort Collins. I did a video a while back, I think it was late last year, talking about why Denver didn't get the full Beltway. Had some poor decision making by some of the leadership up here. So Denver never got that full Beltway back when the federal government was still paying for 90% of the freeway construction. So you can loop on 470 to get back to the southern Denver suburbs where you can go to Colorado Springs. That is about it for the Denver area development, and we are about to get into mountains as we get through this pass up here. So you see they got the warning for the Floyd Hill construction. So Colorado DOT is currently about to expand Interstate 70 in that Floyd Hill area, and actually they're going to realign a portion of the route. Now, as we get up here, we drive through the mountains, you're going to see why it was so difficult to build this road. And being that it was so difficult to build, it's very difficult to expand. You got to do a lot of rock blasting. You got to do a lot of grading, a lot of work that you wouldn't have to do in, flatter places. As far as the story of Interstate 70 west of Denver, it was actually planned for Interstate 70 to originally end at I-25 in Denver. So Interstate 70 was not supposed to go past Denver initially. But Colorado officials went to Congress. They didn't like the fact that, Interstate 80 went across Wyoming. Interstate 40 is down to the south and went across Arizona and Mexico. And leadership in Colorado felt like having Interstate 70 dead end at Denver took away from Denver as a through route. So there was a proposal to get Interstate 70 extended from Denver to Salt Lake City, not where it ends right now. So by lobbying for it to be extended to Salt Lake City, you got Utah on board with it. They're like, yeah, we get a western connection to Denver, a direct connection. So some people don't know that Interstate 70 was originally supposed to go Denver to Salt Lake City. Now, however, once that got approved, once that got into play, it was actually military officials who didn't want the route to go to Salt Lake City. Instead, they preferred it to be a route that can be used to better connect to Southern California. So that's why we have the current route that we have for Interstate 70, where it goes through Colorado and continues west through basically nothing in Utah and ends at Interstate 15 in Code 4. Now, of course, Utah wasn't very happy with this because Interstate 70 doesn't really go through anything in Utah. But that's how it got done. Interstate 70 got extended from Denver to Code 4, Utah. Thanks to the military and through Colorado officials. So we're climbing a little bit in elevation. I can feel my ears popping, so just got up here. Denver's already at a mile high, so we're definitely going to be climbing in the Eisenhower Tunnel. And the Continental Divide is over 11,000 feet. I can hear my little engine working to get up this hill. Kind of surprised how busy it is. I mean, it's Sunday afternoon. I figured there wouldn't be this many people going into the mountains, unless these are people who went down to Denver for a weekend and out there going back home. So as you can see, a good portion coming out of Denver is already 6 lane. Looks like they resurfaced that side over there, and they almost done resurfacing this side. So, hey, I ran on the Colorado highways, but hey, Interstate 70 is getting some love up here in the mountains. You gotta watch for the trucks when you're up here. Here we go. Here we go. This is why you move to Colorado. This is why you come on Interstate 70. And this is why. Oh, God, look at that. Look at that. This is why Interstate 70 is the most beautiful interstate. Can you guys see that? I hope the camera is doing this justice. Insane. This is July. It looks like this is July. Now, when you think cold from Colorado, this is what you think about. This is it right here. This is the postcard. This is the Colorado Rockies. This is the license plate. So that shot's actually not that far from Denver, I think. From where that in and out was, we've been driving about 15 minutes. So if you don't have that much time, it doesn't take you that long to get in here and see some of the greatest views of Interstate 70. Now, we got a lot more to see, so we're just getting started. But if your time is limited, you can just drive over here about 15 minutes and get that view. Oh, there we go again. There it is again. There it is again. I'm not to warn about that Floyd Hill construction. It's amazing what nature can do out here. We're entering Clear Creek County. Now you'll notice the county signs up here in the mountains look different. They're not your standard green signs that you'll see everywhere else. They have these colorful decorations on them. So you'll see it in the opposite direction when you get into Jefferson County. So now we're entering the construction zone, the Floyd Hill project. And now we're about to drop down to 2 lanes. And this is where the congestion starts. You gotta love these guys who are just impatient and can't wait with everyone else. Then they're gonna go up there and try to merge in at the last second and slow everybody else down. It already feels so much cooler now that we're up in this higher elevation. See, look at these guys. Slow everybody else down, merge in at the last second. GPS says we have about 10 minutes of this construction. But at least while we're waiting in traffic, look at the view that you got over there. Look at that. As we descend into the pass here. 220 miles for Grand Junction, so we got a ways to go. Yes, I believe when they're done with this construction, there's going to be 3 lanes in this section as well. But I think it's going to be a toll lane. It's going to be an express lane, so sorry folks, no free ride if you want that extra lane over there. Colorado's a huge fan of express lanes from what I've noticed. I mean, just look at this roadbed, like you can tell how difficult this must have been to originally construct through here. You see signage for US 6 up there as it is about to join, or you can take it east to go back to Golden. And this exit for Blackhawk coming up is actually interesting. So if you don't know, Blackhawk is a area known for its casinos out here in the mountains. And next to it is Central City. And that road right there goes through Blackhawk. So what Central City did, because that used to be the road to get you to Blackhawk and Central City. And what happened was, since Blackhawk was closer, Blackhawk actually started getting more casinos, getting more business. So so Central City built a parkway that bypasses Blackhawk and goes straight to Central City. And I think that's going to be coming up soon after this exit. So if you want to gamble out here in Colorado, we got our own little Las Vegas of the mountains. There's Central City and Blackhawk. So as you can see with this construction area over here, you got to do some mountain blasting. You got to carve out rock to expand Interstate 70 into the mountains. Some very high level engineering going on out here. I think we're almost through. It's almost over for the construction. Coming up here to Idaho Springs, which is the first mountain town out of Denver that you encounter. Yep, there's that road to Central City I was talking about. Central City Parkway, if I recall. Now you can see on the left they do have tolled express lanes, which are open. I think this is the first time I've ever been up here and they've been open. So if you want to pay, you can get by a little faster up here, but we're not going to be paying today. We're going to take the regular road. $9. $18 if you don't have a toll pass. So you see the sign over there to the right. Casino Parkway, Central City. Might have to go out there and check that out one day. I still haven't been up there. All right, so construction is ending. We're getting back to normal speed. Got a little tunnel up here. This isn't the tunnel, just a tunnel. It's not the big one. We're not up there yet. It looks like they're adding another lane through the tunnel as well. $6 to US 40. Now we're in Idaho Springs. See the little welcome sign over here to the right. Okay, Idaho Springs has a museum also. I might have to check that out. Not today though. I did a drive around Idaho Springs several months back, so it's a nice, quaint little mountain town. So yeah, if you can see over there on the eastbound side, traffic is backed up. Everybody's trying to get back home on the weekend, probably out in Breckenridge or Glenwood Springs. That's about downtown Idaho Springs right there to the right. You see how thick the cloud cover has gotten? One of the things I learned here very quickly out in Colorado is that whatever type of weather you see in Denver, in that Denver area, can be way different than the weather up here in the mountains. I think it was early spring, maybe like March or something, February, March. And it was a nice sunny day, like in the 60s in Denver. And I was like, well, let me go up into the mountains and check out some of the mountain towns today. Man, I get up here past Silverthorne and get to Vail and get caught in a snowstorm. Same day that it's bright and sunny in Denver. Ended up stuck there and took almost an hour just to get through and turn back around to go back to Denver. So if you come to Colorado, make sure you check the weather in Denver and the weather in the mountains separately, because those are almost, they might as well be two separate states in terms of weather. There's some snow-capped peaks up there. There's got to be at least about 12,000 feet. Still have snow up there. There's a bus, so you can take the bus to Glenwood Springs, apparently. Well, there's our first person in the express lane, so somebody's got some money out here in Colorado. Oh, there's two. Oh, that's a Porsche, of course. What's $4 to a Porsche driver? Porsche driver. other side. Kind of busy over there. I'll be tempted to pay for the express lane on that side. So look at it, guys. It is mountain peak after mountain peak. Like, where else in the country are you going to get a drive like this? Not on the interstate, at least. Nowhere. Only in Colorado. Utah's pretty close though, but not quite like this. So US 40, that's a long way to Salt Lake City if you want to go that way. I wouldn't go that way, but if you want to take the long scenic route to Salt Lake City, you can take US 40. So here's the thing about Colorado also, as far as these mountains, because there are some other scenic mountains on the interstate, but this part of I-70, it just is continuous. Like, it just doesn't stop. You just don't get this many in your face scenic mountain driving for such a long period of time. And we haven't even got to the Eisenhower Tunnel yet. Across the Continental Divide. We got some wildlife crossing up here. And you can encounter all sorts of animals in these Rocky Mountains. Elk, buffalo, deer, bears. You name it, they got it. That is the end of the express lanes. So everybody is on these 2 free lanes now. And there's more wallpaper views out here. It just never stops. And the weather is perfect. The perfect amount of blue and the perfect number of clouds in the sky. Snapshot. And we're coming up on Georgetown. Another small mountain town. I think it's the county seat of Clear Creek County. Oh, they got somebody. It's the truck that got pulled over. What he did. And that chain up area, you're gonna see a lot of those along I-70 for in the winter. You're gonna put your chains on when you're going up in those higher elevations. Me personally, I just don't come up here when it's snowing, but you know, if you're a daredevil or you just have to get on I-70, you know, bring your chains. Oh, that's your little trailer park over there. Hey, that's one way to get into the mountains. Cheaper housing. Do what you gotta do. I'm not sure the camera can do this justice. This is ridiculous. So you do gotta watch for the slow moving trucks out here. Coming round the mountain, here we come. around the mountain. Let's see what we got here, what this view looks like. Green to our left, rock to our right. Blue above us, colorful Colorado. Entering silver blue city limits. 9,000 feet. We are getting up there. We are getting up there. I definitely picked the right day to come instead of coming Saturday. What you see on Saturdays, what you see on that side is on this side. About 100 miles from Glenwood. We got a ways to go. Man, Colorado is a big state. One of the things I say about these western states is I think when you look at it on Google Maps, it doesn't quite do it justice as to how big these states are, how long they take to drive across. Because it looks a lot shorter than it actually is when you're out here driving it. Well over 400 miles for I-70 in Colorado. It says we are 16 minutes from the tunnel. I'm actually not going to take you guys straight into the tunnel. We're going to detour. We're going to go on US 6 first to Loveland Pass. I want to show you the top of the Continental Divide and what it used to look like, or what the old route looked like before the tunnel. Before we go through the tunnel, to show you why the tunnel was so necessary to get Interstate 70 through here. US 6 and 5 miles, so we are actually going to take the US 6 route first, and then we're going to come back down from Loveland Pass to go through the tunnel. We're entering Arapahoe National Forest, so you won't see any development out here. Got another chaining area right here to the right. All right, so Loveland Pass, 1 mile. We're about to get off up here. We're gonna drive on top of the mountain. Let you guys see the Continental Divide. You see, anyone with hazardous cargo has to use Loveland Pass. They're not allowed in the tunnel. Sorry, guys. All right, so let's do it. Let's get up here. US 6 West. This is going to be my first time driving this westbound. I drove it eastbound actually a few weeks ago. Let's go. Now, Last time I came through here, there were actually quite a few people at the top. So we're gonna see. So the summit is 4 miles, and actually coming westbound is quicker. If you just want to see the summit, it's quicker to get on it coming off westbound than coming from the other way. So we're about to do some climbing. Let's get it. Like quite a few people coming back down. And as you can see, they got a lot of spots up here where you can pull off and, take some pictures, check out the view. Driving up here will definitely work your car. I'm down to 28 miles per gallon, whereas I was getting almost 40 on the interstate. Did a whole U-turn. You can see we're up here with some of the snow that's still left over. That's how we are now. We're eye level with some of the snow. And as you can see, there are no guardrails. So make sure you are paying attention. Drive with caution. Got a lot of people up here checking out the views, and it is a nice view. It is a nice view. If I had more time, I would stop at all of these spots and show you guys, but we are trying to make it to Glenwood before it's too late. We're still climbing. I think we're getting close to the summit now. Is that it? Oh, there it is. We are at the summit. Continental Divide, guys. We are at the summit. We made it. 11,000 feet. All right, let's go check it out. Look down there, that's Interstate 70. You can see it from way up here. So here we are, guys. We are at the top of the Continental Divide. The air is thinner, harder to breathe, if you can't tell. I-70 down there in the distance. So this is what they had the tunnel through right here. This is why the Eisenhower Tunnel exists. When it's chilly up here, it feels good. So you see up there, you can hike even higher up if you want. I'm gonna do all that today. But yeah.
No, we're good. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, now we are making our way back to Interstate 70. We're about to head through the Eisenhower Tunnel. So we're gonna go westbound. And we're gonna show you this tunnel that was built to go up under what we just saw at Loveland Pass. Some juice. Here we go. Now this here coming up is the highest point on the interstate highway system at over 11,000 feet. So the Eisenhower side is the side, 11,013 feet. There it is. So the Eisenhower side is the westbound side that we are going through, named obviously after President Dwight Eisenhower, where the eastbound side is the Junction Tunnel, which was built in '79, and that was named after Edwin Johnson, who was the governor, who actually lobbied and got Interstate 70 through Colorado built in the first place. So all that stuff you saw up above Loveland Pass, like we are up under the Continental Divide. Headlights on. So yeah, this is the only place where you can go up to 11,000 feet on an interstate highway. Imagine the workers and the engineers who built this thing, got this thing completed. And I can see the light at the end of the tunnel. Now the speed limit is 50 in here, but I'd say the actual speed of the average speed of these drivers feels like it's about 60, 65. obviously after we come out of this tunnel, we are about to be going downhill because we just been going up the whole time. So you're gonna see a lot of runaway truck ramps. You're gonna get some, and if you just let your car go freely, oh, it's going to be moving. It is going to be moving. Next 7 miles. Whew, there we go. Coming out of the tunnel. We actually get 3 lanes out here, which is a great thing for the trucks. We don't have to worry about trucks being in these other lanes. Oh man, look at the other side. Everybody's going back to Denver on Sunday. So yeah, guys, we are moving. Coming downhill. There's a runaway truck ramp coming up. That's a pretty high one too. This grade is no joke. Kind of see the valley up there. I think we're coming up on Silverthorne. Silverthorne, yeah, Silverthorne's coming up next. Look at that. Isn't that way easier than driving up Loveland Pass? Imagine back when that was the only way to get through this area. Yeah, another runaway truck ramp up there. Down into the valley, you can get a glimpse of Silverthorne and Dillon, the other little town up here. I will say this is probably the one place where it's probably fun to drive a motorcycle. I actually wouldn't mind experiencing that. Across the Continental Divide. Pretty soon we're about to lose that right lane, so don't get too excited. We're about to go back to 2. That was just for the downhill. Maybe about the 3rd lane. Coming downhill, my average gas mileage went from 29 to 32. Coming up here, US 6. That was the other side. If you would have went Loveland Pass, you come out over here. The US 6 is about to join back up with us for a bit. We got a little outlet area out here in Silverthorne, so if you want to do some shopping, Silverthorne is the place along the way. The outlet's at Silverthorne. Got a scenic area coming up here. I'm gonna pull off and show you guys what that looks like. Oh, we got someone walking on the interstate. Oh man, times must be hard if you're walking on the interstate. Colorado 9 leaves and goes down south. It goes through Frisco and the popular, very popular resort city of Breckenridge. Definitely a lot going on down there this time of year. We got our scenic area. Let's see what it looks like. Back on the road, back on the road. Now this long stretch right here, we're about to hit Glenwood Springs, which is our next stop. We gotta try to make good time because this this time of the day, the sun starts to be in your eye if you're going towards the west. So the later it gets, the worse the sun gets in this direction. That. Only when you get this close do you realize just how massive these mountains are. Like you're from the East Coast, you're used to the Appalachian Mountains. Think about that, but double. Twice as tall. Now, this next exit can take you to Leadville, and Leadville is known as the highest incorporated city in America at over 11,000 feet. And in the hot summer days in Denver, if you want to come up to Leadville for some cool rest and relaxation, this is your place. Now, look at this view right here. See, I told you guys it does not end. We got another spectacular view right here. This is why I-70 is the most beautiful. Look at that greenery up there. We're 80 miles from Glenwood. When we get to Glenwood, we're gonna stop and get something to eat. Like, imagine having a house up here. Imagine having a nice mountain home. Coming up to Vail Pass here pretty soon. Some more runaway truck ramps. I guess that means we're about to go downhill. So, let's see. At 10,000 feet, Vail Pass summit. We got some construction going on up here. I wonder what the project is out in Vail. I have to go look that up online later. Might be resurfacing, or that could be widening on that side, on the eastbound side. So we are rolling downhill right now. We are just rolling. I saw the sign say speed limit 45. I think the average speed right now is about 70. As you can see, Interstate 70 is undergoing a lot of construction, and that makes sense because if you're doing any major construction on I-70 in Colorado, you gotta do it while it's warm out here. A lot easier to work now than it is in January. That over to the right, that wall. This is quite a long decline. I mean, hey, like I said, guys, where are you going to get this kind of mountain driving on the interstate? Look at that greenery. I mean, you got the snow top mountains and you got the green mountains. Speed limit 65, we're back up. Man, stunning. Absolutely breathtaking. The Rocky Mountains, ladies and gentlemen. The wonders never cease on I-70. Zone. The wonders never cease, and the construction never ceases on I-70, it seems. And now it's time for Vail. Here come the Vail exits. Now, Vail is a very narrow town nestled along Interstate 70. So if you look at it on the map, you'll see the city limits aren't very wide. It's just a very narrow area, narrow development area. Very popular when it comes to skiing. Man, and this is the Vail section. So you got another beautiful section of Interstate 70 right here we're going through right now. So we're about to curve through this valley right here. Just look at the mountains surrounding it. Falling rock. That's always a reassuring sound to see, isn't it? Looking at how beat up that fence is right there, it looks like there has indeed been some falling rock right there on that section of this section of I-70. the wildlife sign. So another thing about Interstate 70, especially in the mountains, is that there's a lot of wildlife up here. You can see them at any time, so always stay alert. Don't want to get into a situation with any of our furry friends. So coming up here is the Vail Town Center. So this is the center of Vail, the main area. You find the lodging, you find the amenities that Vail has to offer. Want to get a hotel in Vail? It's going to be probably in this area. Coming up from West Vail. So yep, this whole time we've been in Vail. Like I told you guys, it's a long, narrow town. You see all your resort lodging. That's actually Residence Inn right there that you just saw to the right. Very charming place to come in the winter. You want a winter vacation, Vail is one of those places that you want to consider. We're about to go a bit here, in between the mountains. Rock next 15 miles. Falling rocks. Oh, look at these houses up here, like in the mountain, in the woods. Now, you know that's pretty cool up there. What do we have here? US 6 is about to leave us again. Now you can take US 24 to go back to Leadville. Up here you can see where they had to carve through the mountain to get this highway built. You can see the striations. US 6 is always omnipresent. We're not going to truly lose US 6 until we get into Utah. Where US 6 is the one that actually ended up going to Salt Lake City. And Utah has upgraded some parts of that route to 4 lanes. Out the pass now. See things opening up a bit out here. coming up on Avon, Colorado. And then there's the Eagle River, tributary of the Colorado River, I believe. And you see now we're starting to get to that more dry look for the mountains as we get to the west of Vail. So it's not going to be as green on this side of Colorado. Speed limit 75. I think that's the first time we've seen that since Denver. So that tells you the road is going to be a little more straight out here. Less curves and inclines or declines. And is that same truck we passed way back there before we first left Denver? I think that is him. We caught him again. Yeah, so things calm down out here. You can go 75. You know, some people can go 80. And you can so the up and down is over. But there's still a very interesting section that we're going to check out as we get close to Glenwood that we're going to see. Okay, scenic area. I think we're gonna stop and see what this scenic area looks like. Lake. Okay, so the lake. Oh, okay. Okay. Let's take a look at Wilmore Lake, guys. Yep, guys, and this right here is Wilmore Lake. Right here on I-70, you can stop and check this out without having to go very far. Look at that, how blue it is. All right, guys, that there was Wilmore Lake. Now we're getting back on 70. Let's go ahead and get to Glenwood. piece over here to the right. So you get so many variations of your mountains out here on I-70. Colorado 131 for Steamboat Springs. Okay, look at this. Look at this view. I mean, who knew this was here? Like, does it ever end? I-70. You live in Colorado, you're kind of spoiled because you see this so much that you forget how truly amazing this is. 41 miles. And the next town up is Eagle, Colorado, 10 miles away. Here to your right. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. You get these rock features in your mountains too. And you get the Continental Divide. Come on, man. Who has more than I-70 in Colorado? Which interstate? I don't think it has any competition. You got some rocks out here that look like they might have look like what you think Arizona would look like. Yep, so here's the western Colorado mountains. Kind of more like hills though, but see the variation of features out here in Colorado, it's crazy. The only thing they're really missing in this state is beaches. You just don't have the ocean. But California is only a short flight away, so it's not too bad. So we're coming up on Eagle now. And Eagle is the county seat, of course, of Eagle County, Colorado. Of which the Eagle River flows through. Eagle city limits, 6,600 feet. Yeah, I can tell the elevation that we dropped a bit because it feels a lot warmer now than it did back when we were in Vail, Silverthorne. So on this side of Colorado, you get more rock formations. Got some micro passing trucks. Oh, wait. Oh, he passed them quickly. Okay. Have coming up here, we got another view. I think we have another one. coming down into this valley. See the rock up here, so you can tell the change in scenery. Like I said, so the color right here is brown. We're past our green Colorado. So Colorado truly does have all the colors that it claims. The I-70 is the one place where you can see all of the colors of Colorado. Roadwork in Glenwood Canyon. Uh-oh. 25 miles away from Glenwood Springs. Yet another Amazon truck. Well, that might be the same Amazon truck we saw from earlier. It's funny how I'm catching back up with these trucks. You can see the Colorado River over there to the left. We are coming up to Glenwood Canyon pretty soon. There's another part of this road that was very difficult to build. See the speed limit drops from 75 down to 60 in here. They got the right lane closed ahead, so we're going to be probably spending some slowdown up here. There's a sign, if it's official, we're not entering Glenwood Canyon. So you look down here at the canyon, which is beautiful in itself. You got the Colorado River to your left, and we on I-70 are right next to the river. So building this section through this canyon was very controversial. You had environmental groups who didn't want them to build it at all. You had some engineers who wanted to just blast through everything. We're now entering Garfield County, home of Glenwood Springs. So there were concerns about the impact on the river itself and this ecosystem out here. But in the end, they did reach a compromise, and it got built, and we get to enjoy this beautiful canyon up close and personal. I think it said the right lane is going to be closed, so we are about to merge. No trucks in the left lane. 35 miles per hour speed limit. Look at this stunning. So you thought it was over when we crossed the Continental Divide. No, it wasn't over. The beauty of I-70 does not stop. Not yet. Now I'm going to merge into one lane for this work area. Yep, just when you thought it was over, Colorado comes back with more scenery on I-70. So as you can see, I-70 winds through back and forth in this area, basically following the river. So we're going to merge into one lane for this work area. Now I'm going to merge into one lane for this work area. Alright, so we open back up. Didn't last too long. Okay. Not bad. Back up to 60 miles per hour. So as you can see, some very clever engineering was necessary to get this thing built. So you see the eastbound lanes are down there beneath us. We are elevated and over here, and the railroad track is on the other side of the river. So they had to get this built without disturbing the railroad as well. So the engineers had to blast through here to build this road and keep the railroad running while they were building the road, and not damage the river ecosystem. So I think it took all the way to the 90s to get this built. So you got this tunnel part right here for the westbound lanes that we're about to go through. When you come out, you can see the Colorado River right up there. A nice view of it. Come on, man. Come on, man. Where else are you going to see this on an interstate? Glenwood Canyon. If you're not from the U.S., put this on your bucket list. If you are from the U.S., put this on your bucket list. You need to come to Colorado. You need to drive from Denver to Glenwood Springs and back. The other direction is also worth seeing. Another tunnel right here. And we just go over the river again. Now the river's to the right of us. Guess that guy up there forgot that the lights were supposed to go on in the tunnel, buddy. Glenwood Canyon. Yeah, man, this is crazy. This is, wow. There's the river again, back on the left again. You see how we're grade separated from the eastbound lanes? They're down there, we're up here. It's very clever. This is very unique. Look at this in front of us. It's a gargantuan mountain. It's got to be at least like 9,000 feet. No trucks in the left lane. So in this section you got eastbound lanes elevated over the eastbound lanes are below the westbound lanes. And you got the river down there. It looks like there are people in there. Probably kayaking. You got the greenery from the mountains. You got the brown from the rock. And you got the blue sky above. Now, if that isn't colorful, I don't know what is. That is nature right there, ladies and gentlemen. And I am your tour guide. Thanks for riding along. Got your rest area up here, but we don't need to rest yet. We're going to rest in Glenwood Springs. Okay. Now the eastbound lanes, we see them again. There we go. There they go. Yeah, there's actually a lot of people in the river. You got it all right here in one spot. You got a major interstate highway. You got a major river system. And you got a major railway on the other side of the river. This greenery, look at this green. Oh, Dios mío. Dios mío. We got exit 119. No name. No name exit. I love that one. And we are very close to Glenwood now. Our exit is coming up soon. I hope you enjoyed Glenwood Canyon. Stunning, absolutely stunning area to drive through. And actually, I believe the engineers in Colorado won awards for the design of Interstate 70 through Glenwood Canyon. Probably one of the most impressive sections of Interstate to be built. We're going to get off after this tunnel on exit 116. Stop at this Maverick. Take a little break. Glenwood Springs city limits. We have arrived. This is also the exit you use if you want to go to Aspen for some upscale skiing experience. at that. I didn't know you could bike down Interstate 70 in Glenwood. Interesting. Yeah, looks like that is a bike path. So we are in Glenwood Springs right now. Interesting little interchange here. Glenwood, they have this bridge to get over the interstate from one side to the other. So you see the river right here, and you got the rail over there to the right. We're facing to the east. There's Interstate 70. So that's the north side of Glenwood over there. And then there's the downtown. Alright guys, that was Kidai Pho and Ramen, Japanese restaurant. And if you are in the Glenwood Springs area and you like ramen, I didn't try the pho, but if you like ramen, that spicy miso ramen hit the spot. So I am good. The only thing I wish is that it was an even bigger portion, but it had just the right amount of spice. And the staff was really good. They were really friendly and attentive. So definitely check that spot out if you're in the Glenwood Springs area and you like ramen. Now, unfortunately, between here and Grand Junction, the time of day that it is now, the sun is shining directly in our face, so the video is going to be terrible if I were to film it. So, not going to film that portion of the drive, at least not on this trip, though I do have some old footage of that section of I-70, so I might be using some of that. But, yeah, we're going to get ready to head over to Grand Junction and call it a night. So we got to pick our hotel. And I'm going to show you guys how I choose hotels, how the process goes. So stay tuned for that. We're going to show that next. And then we're going to check into Grand Junction for the night. Alright guys, that was a nice little meal at the Japanese place. definitely check that out if you like ramen and you're in the Glenwood Springs area. Now it's about 5 o'clock, so the sun unfortunately is facing in our direction. So between here and Grand Junction is probably not going to film that just because of the crazy sun glare. But we're going to go head down there for tonight. And yeah, that'll be that. And I'm going to show you guys how I choose hotels depending on the situation when it comes to where I'm going to stay. All right, guys, so we're going to stay in Grand Junction for the night. But first, I want to show you how I choose my hotels when I'm depending on the situation. So the first thing I typically decide when I'm choosing a hotel in a place is, what is my purpose there? Am I just staying there to pass through for the night? Or am I staying there so that I can go out into the city, experience things and check out this and check out some of the sites and stuff like that? So my two preferred brands, now I got status with multiple brands just because of how many nights I spend in hotels, but my preferred brands are Choice and Marriott. And the reason I use Choice is because they have a broad range. They go all the way from the low end, which are places like Econo Lodge, and they go all the way up higher. You got some of your Radisson properties, they bought them out. They got the Cambria, then they got the Comfort Inn in the middle. So Choice is just a very versatile brand. So I use them. And then also I use Marriott when I want to get into the city. I want to get a more premium experience, a more premium feel, and I want to get like down there in the city a lot of times, because Marriott usually has properties like in the downtown, close to the downtown, and it's a more high-end feeling experience. Now, since I'm going to Grand Junction and I'm not planning to spend a lot of time and hang out in Grand Junction, I'm just going there to stay for the night. And maybe check out one or two things tomorrow to wrap up this video, and then after that I'm continuing into Utah. So there's no point in me paying more for a Marriott while I'm in Grand Junction, so we're gonna go with Choice. So I go over here to my Choice app, all right, and I'm finding hotels, and we go Grand Junction, Colorado. So we see we got some options here. We got a Comfort Inn that's a little far outside the city. This looks like is that Fruta? I think that's Fruta outside of there, so that's a little out of the way. And then we got a Quality Inn, an Econo Lodge, a Comfort Inn, and a Clarion Inn. And the prices are pretty similar on the lower end properties. So I'm looking at these, and now what I like to do, now the ratings are pretty good inside the Choice app, but with any of these brands I like to just get a third party source. So I'll go check Booking. This is what I do use Booking for. Is to double check the reviews, the ratings of hotels before I choose one. So from there what I'll do is I'll go to the Booking app. All right, let me go back and show you how I did it. So right here, Grand Junction, Sunday through Monday, we're just gonna stay one night. We go to the map, and our hotels are over here. So we're not gonna do the Comfort Inn that's in Fruta. It's more expensive and it's outside of the area we want to be in. So I'm gonna look at, there's our Quality Inn at 8.1. Now when it comes to Booking, basically anything that you see above a 7.5 is usually good. I don't think I've been to a hotel that had higher than a 7.5 on Booking and knew it was a bad experience. So if they have at least a 7.5, that's pretty good. When you get between that 6.5 to 7.5 range, you're kind of maybe not. You might have to go see it for yourself, because it can go either way in that range. And if it's below a 6, you probably don't want to stay there unless it's all you can afford. So Quality Inn is good. We got 8.1. If it's above an 8, like, you're really good. Normally if it's got an 8, it's a really good experience. And then over here, here's our Econo Lodge at 7.5. Now, I've actually stayed at this Econo Lodge on my way to Denver last year. I stopped in Grand Junction and stayed at this Econo Lodge. It's not a bad hotel. I think the Wi-Fi was pretty decent. So it's not bad. And of course, the Comfort Inn across the street is 8.2. So it's really good as well, but it costs a lot more than the other two. So I'm going to rule out the Comfort Inn because of the cost. And that leaves basically, and the Clarion is not on Booking for some reason, so we're going to X that out too. So you go back to the Choice app. Now there's an $11 difference between the Quality Inn and the Econo Lodge. Now I could go to the Econo Lodge. Like I said, I've already been there before. I know it's not a bad hotel, but Quality Inn typically offers a slightly more premium experience over Econo Lodge, because in the hierarchy of Choice hotels, Econo Lodge is here, Quality Inn is up here, Comfort Inn is Comfort Inn, then there's some of the others. So tonight I'm just feeling I'll pay the little $11 extra, and I think I want to try this Quality Inn out. So I'm going to pick the Quality Inn, and you go down here and you see what rooms they have available. Now that room is $88. It's 2 queen beds. Now I don't need 2 beds. I'm by myself right now. I'm not traveling with other people on this trip. So, and the king bed is $97. So I'll just do the queen beds since it's cheaper. So we're gonna go to queen beds, $88. Check in at 3. Queen beds. We don't need these points. Nope. We don't need any of that. Bam, there we go. We got it locked in. And that's how we made the choice right there. The choice with choice for the Quality Inn at Grand Junction. So we are booked, and we're about to head to Grand Junction. Stand by. I'll show you a little bit of the hotel when we get there. And we'll continue down I-70. Let's check out the room, 232. Okay. Your pretty standard hotel room. Nothing too crazy. So you got your 2 queen beds. That's our unit right there for the night. Okay. Got a desk right here. Probably using that before I go to bed. Okay, so this one has the sink out here with the beds. Okay. Got your little drink glasses and everything. Coffee maker. Okay. Everything's standard. They got the refrigerator and the microwave. You know, some of the higher end hotels, it's a weird thing that they don't have microwaves in them. But all the lower end hotels do have a microwave in a refrigerator. Pretty odd. So here's our 2 queen beds. Got a little seat right here. Okay. Got USB outlets. We got a charger so we can keep everything charged up tonight. Perfect, perfect. Okay, let's see what the view is, if we have a view. Oh, we got a view of the little pool. Okay. Grand Junction, quality, yeah. Got a pool. Okay, there you go, guys. Of course, we got the TV. Let's see what the bathroom looks like. Got an ironing board and some hangers. Okay, so the sink was out there. So you see in here, this is your toilet and your shower. So it's your standard hotel. Exactly kind of, you know, what you expect for just $100 a night. Nothing too crazy. It'll get the job done. A good place to get the 8 hours in for tomorrow. Let's check out the Wi-Fi. Guys, Cafe Soul. Pretty cool. Breakfast sandwich. No bad. Ooh, just got that Cafe Soul out here in downtown Grand Junction. So that was pretty cool. They took the egg out of the breakfast sandwich for me. So nice amount of bacon in there. So that was really good. And oh man, those breakfast potatoes. Yes. Look at this guy. This giant bike right here. So yeah, downtown Grand Junction. So now we are about to head back. We're about to get on the road, I-70 to the Utah state line. And then I'm gonna film I-70 all through Utah. So I got a long trip, but our Colorado trip is gonna end at the state line for Interstate 70. So let's get back to it. Let's get on the road now that we are fat and full. All right, so I'm gonna take you guys on a little cruise of what's left of downtown on our way to I-70. So you can see they got a nice, cool little downtown, and got plenty of parking out here relative to the amount of people who are down here, so you shouldn't have a problem parking down here. And the people seem pretty friendly. A couple people actually stopped me while I was walking down and filming, so yeah, it seems like a pretty welcoming town, at least today, at least. So this is Main Street. And over there to your right are some of the shops. I don't know if you can see it, but Cafe Soul, where I just ate, is on this block right here. There it is with the yellow sign. So see, they got outdoor seating, everything. Yeah, so you got a theme. Saw that giant bike, and here's another person on the bike. So there's a huge theme of bikes out here in Grand Junction. Might have to do some research and see what that's about. So yeah, like lots of shops. And Grand Junction is basically the main hub for this part of Colorado, and probably even if you're in eastern Utah, because the only little town out there is Moab, which doesn't have that much. It's a beautiful day out here. But definitely come check out downtown Moab if you're traveling on Interstate 70 like me. Oh, they got this part closed off. Okay. So we're coming up here to Rood Avenue. Interesting way, never seen Rood spelled like that. R-O-O-D, Rood. That must be named after someone. Let's go down Rood. And this looks like some apartments right here for those young folks who might want some walkability and downtown living in Grand Junction. Here you go. Now we're headed back to the interstate. Windows up. So we're on 70 business 70. I believe US 6 is about to join us up here pretty soon. Oh yeah, here we go. US 6 is here. North Avenue in Grand Junction. So now to get outside of downtown, this is your typical major arterial stretch. Same type of businesses. You see your car dealerships. Probably gonna see some big box stores, chain restaurants. Looks like we're coming up on I-70. You can see it up there in the distance at the overpass. And coming up at this interchange, we are seeing Interstate 70 for Utah. Now that's a good control city, or should I say control state, because you know I-70 in Utah, there's not much of anything out there. And it looks like Colorado has made this into a divergent diamond interchange, which is the new type of interchange that is sweeping the nation. I did a video about this on my old channel before I started putting the videos on this channel. We are about to hop on I-70 for the final stretch in Colorado. So we drive through this divergent diamond interchange. You see we are on the left side of the road. This is the part that confuses some people. Utah. US 6 goes to Fruita, and we're also going to pass by Fruita on I-70, but US 6 goes like into the city. You can see the landscape out here. You see the mesas. So this side of Colorado looks more like Utah and Arizona. And yeah, that's what makes I-70 so great. Like, you get so much variety of landscape out here compared to any other interstate. Where do you get Eisenhower Tunnel? Plains like Kansas, the city of Denver, Loveland Pass, and these mesas out here, all in one state. We got 257 miles to reach I-15 if you want to go to California. already stopped at the Loves earlier, filled up the tank, stopped up on water, snacks and everything, because once we get into Utah, there is nothing, and I mean absolutely nothing, until you get to Salina. Funny story about I-70 in Utah, which I don't think I told you guys yet, but when I went on vacation to Salt Lake City back in January of 2024, we drove from Salt Lake City to Moab, Utah on the night of a blizzard. And I thought I was being smart by driving from, instead of going down US 6, I thought I was being smart by going from 15 to 70, because based on the radar, it looked like there wasn't any snow in southern Utah. Or was I wrong? If you think I-70 is scary or boring in Utah, try driving it in a snowstorm. Like blackout, you can't see anything. Scariest drive of my life. I can't believe we made it. It was, all in all, it took 11 hours of driving to get from Salt Lake City to Moab in that snowstorm. And there was one point where, I think it was after Salina, there was one point where we were following this emergency vehicle, and he had the lights on, so I couldn't even really see the road or anything. And you can't see, it's nighttime, so you can't see anything. But I could see him, so I was trying to follow him and keep up with him, and this guy started going so fast that I lost him. So, yeah, that scariest drive of my life. I would never do it again. I would never doubt the Utah blizzards and snowstorms. And one thing I have learned since moving to this part of the country is that in these states like Colorado, Wyoming, Utah, you need to go download their DOT apps, and they'll give you real-time weather updates. And some of them have cameras where you can see what the weather's like instead of relying on the radar that made me think there was not going to be any snow in southern Utah. So, just some helpful advice there. If you live in these states, download those apps before you ever think of driving in the winter in this part of the country. Colorado National Monument. I gotta check that out at some point. I still haven't been there. As you can see, here is US 6 again for Fruita, which is a suburb of Grand Junction. We got 19 miles until we reach the state line. Mac. Speed limit out here is 75, so you know, you can feel free to drive at a comfortable speed out here. And I don't think you're gonna see too many state troopers out here, if any. I mean, places like these unofficially, People drive as fast as they really want to. Here we are again, the Colorado River again. Also, this part of Colorado gets hot, very hot. I think the forecasted high today in Grand Junction is 99 degrees, so on top dry, western type desert feel. We got it out here in western Colorado. Hey, this road is in great condition. So it's concrete, paved with concrete out here, I see. It's in great shape, especially compared to some other parts of Colorado. And our median is super wide. The eastbound lane is way over there. You can even see them. There's our exit for Mac. And no services. No services. Miles to the state line. Green River, that's an area, if I recall, Green River does have a Love's travel stop, so that's your next area with some actual services between the Grand Junction area and there you go, along I-70. We're going uphill right now. You guys can't see. I can't move the camera right now, but down there in the valley to our right, got a little small settlement. I think that's what they call Mac. Should have got off on that exit. We got some U-Hauls up here. Somebody's moving west. Somebody's moving west. Wonder if they came from the East Coast. Let me see what the license plate says. That's a temporary tag, so I don't know where they came from. Man, could you imagine crossing this area before the interstate highway system existed? You better have a little convoy with you. Probably wouldn't be a trip I would have made solo back in the day. Seven miles to the state line. Rabbit Valley has no services. You're gonna see that a lot in this part of the country. Exits with no services. See, on the East Coast, you're kind of used to there being something off most exits. Now, when you come out west, this view as we approach the final mile. And there's our sign right there. There it is, leaving colorful Colorado. That is it, guys. That is Interstate 70, Colorado. And now you see coming up, we see the Utah sign. I'll pull over off of here. Utah. Whew, what a trip. All right, guys, that is it. Interstate 70 in Colorado. Absolutely. If you made it this far, I definitely appreciate you watching. Let me know what you think down below about Interstate 70. Do you agree now, or are you still unconvinced? But either way, thanks for watching, especially if you made it all the way this far. And I will see you on the next one.